here we are with the Ford GT. This is the Nikko Ford GT I just ended up buying. I looked these things up. They range on eBay between like $100 and 600, depending on still in box stuff like that. You can see how front end of mine is all worn out. It's beat. It's pretty bad, but I mean, it's an RC car. It's whatever. These are two tools that I really use to work on it. Just screwdriver and my little wrench for the wheels. These are a set of aluminum wheels I ended up getting off Amazon. They are well, they say alloy, but they're completely aluminum. They have foam inside, unlike these, which are the stock wheels. You can see the tread on there. If I get it closer. These are the front wheels. See, not much dish. Not too bad. The rears have a lot more dish, but they are worn away. Like, badly worn to the point to where there's almost nothing there. You can see how one side has a little bit more camber than the other side. If I bring it down here, maybe it'll focus. No, it doesn't want to. Yeah, I mean, these are great. I actually really like these. They have a lot more grip than those wheels. A lot more. Considering this is from, I believe, the early 2000s. I haven't done too much research on it because I don't care. I'm not a perfectionist when it comes to RC stuff. So when I get an RC car, it's mine. I'll take care of it. And I'll upgrade it the way that I want. I'm not going to make it completely back to stock and, do all that stuff. So far what I have done, I've taken the rear end apart. I've basically had this entire car into nothing but pieces. Took the rear end apart. I locked the diff. That's just to play in the axles. Since this is supposed to be a toy grade, you can tell in there. If you look, you can see the play. So, I mean, it's not perfect. And then, it has the same amount of play over there. And the shocks are completely plastic. They just have little clip-on things. And they don't even bottom out all the way before it hits the table. It's not perfect. But again, it's whatever. People have asked me what this is. If I open it up, that's what shows you basically which remote it is. 27.145 band 4. If I slap back on, this cover right here, if I can, there we go, houses, basically you could call it the receiver, but it's not a receiver. I am going to be upgrading this thing. I was hoping to try and get more angle out of it, but when I tried to do the knuckle mods, it didn't work. It's not meant to have any more like angle than what it comes with. You can tell that hits in there, and if you bring it out, the wheel is going to start hitting the shock, and I already did all the mods over here. You can see I drilled another hole to bring the Ackerman in. Is it called the Ackerman? I don't even remember. But it brings it in. So when it pushes out, it will push out further. When it brings it in, it pulls in further. It just did not like that whatsoever. What I was thinking about trying was maybe going up a little bit more. But once I did that, I found out that it does push out a little bit further. But it starts to hit in here, and when you pull it in, it doesn't hit. It's just a pain. That just popped off without me even trying. On the back here, there's a screw that goes all the way through with a little nut. and a washer. And then there's a washer on the other side. Now I can pull this whole thing off. And this is the electronics inside of the car. It's very outdated. Again, it is a Nikko, or Nikko, however you want to pronounce it. So it's not hobby grade digital proportional system. This is the special remote where if you pull this out, the whole thing turns over, which then reverses it. So if you look at this side, that would be right, but on this one would be left. When you push it over, it changes inside and it makes that left that right, even though it's opposite. I don't know why it doesn't want to focus. What else? With the way that this chassis is set up, this is just a cover for all this. So if I get rid of all this, which I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be upgrading the servo, because you can see it's one of the 5-wire servos instead of a 3-wire. It doesn't want to go in there. Here, actually, I might be able to turn this light on and you guys can see a little better. So with this being a 5-wire servo instead of a 3-wire servo, to change the servo, I need to change the receiver, which means I'm going to change all this around. This, I can take this out. See? Comes right out. So you would have been able to have like 2, 3 of these at once. Everything unscrews. The battery I'm going to be relocating. Basically, whenever I change all this around, I want to relocate the battery to back a little bit further, because right here, you can see in there, there's nothing in there. How far in can you see? Basically back to here. There's nothing in here. I want to change the battery, and instead of it being like this, I want it to be like this in here. I'm going to put a bracket off the top that goes down and over to just a flat plate. I'm going to do a different front end, all different suspension so that I can get more angle, but I want to keep it this so that I can use that. With this being a toy grade, it's weird because this right here is the same exact wheelbase and wheel width as the Tamiya bodies. It's a Tamiya R34 Skyline body that they use on their $300 drift chassis. So basically, even though this is a toy grade, it's still the same size in comparison to a normal 1/10 scale RC drift car. A lot of people are going to say it's not meant to drift, it's meant to just be a little drive car for kids. Yeah, you're right, but in the end of it all, it's whatever I want it to be. I bought it. It was sitting on a shelf at this one shop for, I don't even remember how long. It's been sitting there for months. Anybody could have went in and bought it. But I guess this front end damage kind of turned people away. I mean, there's a crack there. It's beat. But I like RC cars like this. I love RC cars like this. Because it's something that nobody took care of. Somebody put on a shelf and tried to sell for cheap. And I'm bringing it back to another life. Now, yeah. I could always keep it all stock. Put it all back together. Don't worry about this. This is just to hold the wires together. Everything is heat shrinked together. Soldered. Well, it's all soldered then heat shrank over. I changed this from the big Tamiya plug to the Dean's plug. But that's just to hold the wires together so that they don't pull apart and stuff like that. I should have just put heat shrink over it, but I completely forgot to before I put it together. This is a good car. It's a very, very good car. Honestly, this is a Nikko. I have a new bright body on my Everest Gen 7. And I have a Sam's Club RC truck that has jumbo Kongs on it. So I think it just has something to do with me and toy grade RCs that I like seeing cheap stuff turn into more expensive stuff. Now, here, I'm going to pause the video real quick. I'm going to put all this back together, and then we can continue. Okay, it's all back together. This is the bottom. This skid plate right here, there's a screw here and here, and then there are screws. There's a single screw that goes through the back, or two screws that go through the back right there, and hold it on. This right here holds the lower control arms in. It's just a bar through the lower control arm, not a screw. That then goes into little slots, kind of like what your wheels are held on with. Kind of like one of these, or where is it? One of these, right there. But a lot bigger. Same with the front. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that go onto the front here and hold these lower control arms in. If you notice, there's also a plate on the front here, which is the location for the shocks. I like to keep all that intact, just because I don't want to mess with too much and make it an undrivable car. I like to just upgrade it. Now if I go ahead and I swing this, which is really difficult, swing this little switch over just that far, and I can take the whole thing, push it, come on, I'm going the right way, yeah. Jeez, it really just doesn't want to. Then this whole flap flips up. Sorry, you didn't see that. But it's whatever. This is the battery I'm using. I got it from Amazon. It was like 15 bucks. Florian, 7.4 volt, 30C, 4,000 milliamp hour. It lasts me a pretty long time. It is a soft pack. I don't like soft packs, because what happens is they get bent, they get messed up. You can see how this one has a bend in it. But it hasn't swollen up, hasn't warmed up. That happened from when we had the cross out at the skate park and just didn't like it. You can see how in here, nickel metal hydride, 7.2 volts. So I'm just going to keep with the 7.4. I'm probably going to bump it up to a 50C or a 40C, just so I can get a little bit more out of it. Because, I mean, yeah, it's fast, but I feel like it still has more potential. You can see how I just take the charging cord and I run it under. You can't do it with one hand. Can't do anything with one hand. And then when I'm done, I just push it forward. Then you see how that moved it left. And then to lock it in place, you're just taking it off. Now, there's no way that's opening or closing. I should see if I can find a date. No, I don't see a date. There is a phone number. I am going to call that later. You guys can't see, it's too bright. My phone does not want to do anything. I got to get a camera soon. Once I get a camera, everything's going to change a little bit for this. Just because we'll have way better quality. I am going to start editing these videos, but right now I'm not that worried about it. Again, still have work, still doing all that. But here's the body back on. What I do like are these clips that the body came with. They aren't metal clips. They're just little plastic clips. You can see how the holes are a little bit bigger because this is thicker. And it just, when they pop in, they clip in. They won't pull out. You gotta squeeze them, and then they pull off. So, I think that this, for the couple bucks I paid for it, was worth it. If I was to completely put it together, get a box for it, and take care of it, I could probably sell it for a decent amount, but I'm not worried about that. I don't want to make money off of it. I want to drive it. I want to use it. And I'm going to make this into a full-scale, or not full-scale, but a scale drift car that people look at and actually think it's cool. I want to change everybody's ideas on toy grade RCs. Just because it's a toy grade doesn't make it bad. Just because somebody cannot afford a $600 RC truck does not mean that, oh, the RC car's garbage. This right here, and again, this is the remote for it. It's nothing special. I still have steering trim, throttle trim. I got fully proportional steering, fully proportional throttle and braking. It is, I would say, one of the better scale or toy grade RCs out there. I would go as far to say this would be worth the $200 if you were to buy it online. If you were to find one of these online for cheaper than $100, get it. No joke. And if you do have one, if you did find one for cheap and you were thinking, oh, I was going to take the body off, swap it with another one, but I can't find one that fits, you can find one. I found rims that are, if I was to take the stock one, the exact same size. Here, let me take the body off, and I'll show you that they are the exact same size. They are a little bit wider, but I also want wider. The exact same size as the stock wheels. This one looks bigger, but it's not. I believe the rears, I believe they're the same size, aren't they? Yeah, front and rear are the same size, it's just the offset. But again, this is such a good starter car if you're able to find one for really cheap and you're just trying to get into maybe just some parking lot driving, some path driving, like bike path driving, in your house. I mean, those are from that. I printed out these wheels. Those are some brake discs that I printed out. As you can see, the inside's starting to wear away. I didn't use washers because I was an idiot. I'm actually printing out a full set right now. These are a set of drift tires that I printed out. We quickly spray painted them black just to see what would happen. And you can see it just camber. And it's on both of them. So they're basically riding like that instead of like that. But these, I mean, they don't fit the style of the car. It doesn't matter. These are plastic wheels that I wanted to test out. I put together and I threw on the back and I did that. There are marks everywhere because of it. So I'd say get it. I mean, I guess that's really it on this thing. A lot of people wanted to see an update on it just because I did post it on the Instagram. If nobody is following the Instagram, just look up the name. It'll be there. If not, it's whatever. This is pretty close to 1/10 scale, I'd say. Maybe a little bit bigger. But you also need to remember, toy companies are all different. The Gen 7 Sport that I have the new bright Jeep body on it, and that is on their monster truck. They said 1/8 scale, wasn't 1/8 scale. Everyone was selling as a 1/10 scale body. So I put the body on my truck. Seems 1/10 scale. It could be a little bit smaller, a little bit bigger. It doesn't matter. But I put them side by side, and they're pretty close. So yeah, I mean, here it is. The aluminum wheels are on it. I actually have another set of these just in case these get messed up. These are going to be the actual driving wheels. The other set's going to be the show wheels for when I get the body all done. I am going to be repainting it. I want to do either white with the blue stripes or blue with the white stripes or the silver stripes, because the normal GT40s that are out there, you don't see many of the blue with the silver stripes. That was like a special order or something like that. I have printed out wings for it. I'm still trying to find one that fits it perfectly. The last one I had, I just had double-sided taped on. It was kind of high. It was decent, but it looked too square. It didn't fit the body lines. The other one that I had was a chassis mount, but then it was way too tall. It looked goofy. So I'm gonna keep on playing around. I would love to get a low mount spoiler that's like just really short and has some sharp lines to it. Looks pretty good, but that's later down the road. I'm gonna get splitter, side skirts. This whole car's gonna be repainted. I'm gonna do in here black, in the front there black. All the windows are gonna be smoked. Like I said, with the chassis itself, and we get rid of everything. We'll be doing a full interior. I'm gonna be doing louvers on the back with a false engine underneath. It's gonna be coming out pretty good. We're doing a full set of lights. You can see on the back here, just plastic. I'm gonna be doing a set of taillights. It did have exhaust here. I'm actually working on a block off for this, so I can get rid of that. Because you can see how the body itself has the plastic here that is supposed to be the same for the diffuser. It just doesn't fit properly, so I'm going to be making a full-on diffuser for the back end of the car, and that's going to have the exhaust in it. So stay tuned for more updates on this, more updates on all the RC cars. You can see it's getting kind of dark out, so we're gonna keep on working towards getting outside, getting onto some trails, getting some videos of the trucks and cars. But until we can do that, we're going to be inside. We're going to be recording what we're doing. If you guys do want to see more, like, subscribe. Make sure that you just pay attention to when we do upload. I know it's not a perfect upload schedule. I know it's just random, but they'll be out, hopefully. If I see you guys are actually liking the videos, I'll start uploading more. Just right now, I'm still using my phone, still using my wife's phone. Whenever we're going on trails, she'll record while I'm driving. I'll record when she's driving. So, just little stuff. We're going to be posting a lot more on Instagram than we do the channel, though, just because it's a lot easier and a lot simpler for people to go on there and look. And I just think that's a better all-around site. But if you guys do like it, just keep watching. Let me know what you guys want to see more of. If you guys want to see more of this when I upgrade it. If you guys want to see more of the monster truck with the Kongs. If you guys want to see more of the Jeep, more of her cars. Let us know. And yeah, everyone stay safe.